I used to back in school, I used to be ridiculous. I used to relapse in bathrooms. I used to relapse a lot in school, before school, skipping school. You know, I'll dive into some details for you. Okay, do a little bit of story mode. Back in school, I used to do a lot of dumb shit. I used to fap endlessly in the bathrooms, thinking about girls and weird fantasies. And I would do stuff before school, during school, skipping school to go and pleasure myself. It was pretty bad, man. And you know, being at that, like, it's a month away from school, you know, here on the campus, I see people like touring and they're thinking about like coming here the following year. It's got me in a mindset where it's like I'm remembering a lot of the dumb stuff I used to do in school, and I wanted to just talk about that today with you, like, you know, so that you can realize, like, my stuff's a little ridiculous and extreme, but like yours may not be. Yours may not be as extreme as per se of like the things that like I did. And that's fine, but it should be maybe just a moment for you to pause and be like, wait, like, Daniel did this ridiculous stuff. Maybe like the stuff I'm doing is like dumb too and a waste of time and like just wasting my brain cells. And I don't need to waste opportunity, especially when you're young. So it's just gonna be like a little funny ranting right now, and just to help you realize like maybe you're doing dumb stuff too, and to kind of nip it in the butt before you go back to school, so that, like, you know, you start off fresh in a better place, ready to handle obstacles and difficulty, and ready to make the most of like your environment and stuff. So back in high school, personally, I had this morning class. It was music. First thing in the morning, I used to play the tenor saxophone in the 9th grade. I was pretty good at it. I wasn't too shabby. It wasn't too shabby at all. And there was this one girl in the class, and she was like, man, she was like my type, so beautiful. And I would always eye down the girl, like, all the time. I'd always just be like staring at her legs, staring at her butt, like just memorizing her body, essentially, like memorizing her facial structure in my head. Like, I'd just be eyeing her down, when she'd walk through the door, my heart would like pound. Like, she was so beautiful. And she was a figure skater, actually, too. Gorgeous girl. But I was weird, and I had already had the habit of chronically abusing my Johnson, and just being very neurotic and fantasizing about a bunch of stuff. So one time I was like just in the mood and I wanted to like bust one. I just went to the bathroom and thought about her and just rubbed one out. And I did that multiple times that semester, when we were in the same class. I did that a lot. Fuck, when I think about it, it's kind of messed. And I wouldn't just do it at school. You know, like, I would be at home as well, like thinking about this girl and like other girls in the class, and like it just wasn't good. You know, like, when I think back, like, I could have at least tried to talk to her or befriend her or let her know how I at least felt, the most bare minimum. Didn't do any of those things. I was just very weird and like stuck in my head, and that was just one of the weird things that was happening during school. I used to do this thing where I would be, you know, before class in the morning, I'd watch hentai, and then at the end or midway through school, I'd skip and go and like eat a bunch of BS food and just like binge for like the entire day, playing girlfriend simulators. Like that was like the end part of school. Like, I was just like watching a lot of crap. Like, honestly, like, I don't know what the hell I was doing. It was bad. And it does make you regretful. It does make you feel regret towards like your past. And it can, this is the thing with regret, is that you know, you become regretful. You're like, damn, why did I waste all those times? And then if you do that for too long, you start getting hard on yourself. You're like, damn, I wasted a year regretting on like this past thing. And you start regretting the fact that you were regretful and wasted time. Like, it's this negative loop that can just keep multiplying if you don't nip it in the butt, if you don't stop the behavior, if you don't stop the things that you're going to regret in the future. It just compounds, and eventually there's this point of no return where it's like, it doesn't matter anymore. You've spent too much time regretting doing things that were not you, living life that was not you, and now here you are. You're just full of regret. You're full of it, and it's poisonous. It's poisonous. It will kill you before, you know, your time's actually up here on Earth. So, you know, that's like just a little flashback, very brief flashback, but like that was like my behavior, and it's not that far-fetched. I know a lot of guys who are doing that, and people to this day still, and it's just like normal, you know, it's just like normal for us, and it's not good. Like, you need to see that it's not normal, and it has a big negative consequence. And maybe you do understand. Maybe you're like, I get it. Like, I want to improve myself. I want to start changing. And now you're kind of at the question mark. It's like, okay, how do I go about doing that? How do I start changing myself? How do I start improving myself? It's a process, it's a journey. But what I've done is I went ahead and formalized my journey, and I put it into a free video training series for you to indulge and learn. And it's not going to be up for a very long time. I don't know, it might, but depending on when you're watching this, it could potentially go down very soon. And it's down in the description. What it is, I've just packaged my journey. I packaged some of my most important lessons, and, you know, mindsets, discoveries, you know, tactics, and this cool system that's near the end of the series that's going to help you a ton with just like building a better life. And I'm essentially just going to give you the tools that I used to overcome my porn addiction, my fapping addiction, my neuroticism, my weird relationship with the opposite sex, my shame about my own sexuality, just like all the baggage I carried for like 20 years. I'm going to give you an insight as to how I fixed all that, so that you can learn for yourself, and at worst just be intrigued. But in the most common situation, which happened with most of the people and some of my students, you'll take my lessons and you'll implement them into your own life and experience those same changes. So it's not going to be up very long. I'm going to be taking it down soon. I'm not rewarding lazy people. You'll find it down in the description. I want you to go back to school like a champion. I want you to make the most out of these last several months. And I want you to go into the New Year's when that time comes as well, because it's not that far. I know it's like, oh, it's far. It's not that far. When that time comes, I want you to be in a really good state and ready to really change your life. So don't let this opportunity pass by. You're going to regret it. That's everything I have for you, man. Fearless Danny only, Stromboli. And I'll see you next time, man. I'll see you next time. The content is going to keep coming. I'm going to keep ranting. I'm going to keep doing what I can to help you. So thank you for your time. I'll see you next time. Peace.